What's going on, guys? So it's almost midnight, March 26th, 27th, whatever day this is, 2020, sitting out on the porch, relaxing, drinking a beer. Um, but I wanted to take this time, and I'm not going to edit this video. This is just going to be kind of a one cut and done type video, but this is going to be a lot different from what I normally put on my channel, but I wanted to kind of share my testimony and my background, sort of how I got into this business and how everything has not involved, but evolved, and sort of the credit and everything I got to give to. So, growing up as a kid, I always had this fascination with lawnmowers. So, obviously, I wanted to do well. I think honestly, I had them since I was a little kid, and I wanted to be so many different things growing up. But I kind of always had this feeling that I was going to end up doing lawn care. Um, but so I grew up then, and I mean, I've grown up in the church since I was pretty much born. Um, been going to church all my life, all 22 years. Um, and I just want to say everything that I have today and everything that's happened, I've got to give credit to God for it. It's not me that's done this, it's Him. And I've been a member of the church for years. I started playing guitar when I was in, I think, third or fourth grade. I can't remember exactly, but He's allowed me to use that talent on Sunday mornings at church, leading worship, leading the congregation in worship, which I is fantastic. I've had so many awesome opportunities to lead worship, not only at church, but with our worship leader's band as a sitting guitarist. And it's just been awesome to see the way that he's been able to move in my life. And I mean, I have to give credit to him. He allows me to wake up every day and get out there and beautify his creation. And if you, on my business cards, which I don't have one now, they're in the truck, but on the back of it, I have my services listed, and at the bottom it says beautifying God's creation one property at a time. And I don't really I don't want to say I don't really advertise it as a faith-based business, but I mean, that's what it is. So, I mean, everything I've got to give credit to him, and I mean, I've seen him do some amazing things. I mean, I've had plenty of stressful times with this, just like anybody else has. And about 2.5 years ago, it was September 20th, 2017. That was probably my hardest time of year, or time of season since I started my business, and which I didn't technically legally start it until 2016 once I graduated high school, but I had been mowing yards and stuff um, before then because my parents could claim me on their taxes, so I had no reason. But September 20th, 2017, I had gotten up to leave to go to school, and my mom was out here on the porch working on a couple things. And I had gone to school, gone off and done my work. I think class started at 9:30. And at 10:30, I got a text from my dad saying, "Mom's in the hospital. She suffered a brain aneurysm." So that was a really tough time for not only our family but our church family. And I mow for a lot of people that I go to church for and do work or go to church with and do work for them and whatnot. and it was just that was a really hard fall. We were just getting into aeration season. Everything was crazy with mowing and aerating, and pretty much, I don't want to say everything came to a screeching halt, but basically life came to a screeching halt. Um, and I remember that day. It was a Wednesday, and we had practice on Wednesday nights, and our worship leader at the time had texted me saying, "Hey, heard about your mom. Don't worry about coming to practice tonight. You're still good for Sunday. If you don't worry about coming tonight if you don't need to." But I told him I want to be there because it's I love being able to use my talents for him, and being able to lead the congregation in worship, and it's a way for me to worship too. But that was a really rough year, and I know a few guys I talked to at GIE were following along with it that I was friends on Facebook with, and I think it was she had been in the hospital from September 20th to the second day of GIE that year. It was 2018 or 2017, the first year I had gone to GIE, and I had talked to a few people and told them she had gotten moved to rehab and all that stuff, and then had a couple hiccups and ended up having to go back to the hospital. And then I think she got moved back to rehab. I think right around, sort of right after Thanksgiving. I think I ended up going to Blacksburg, Virginia. I live in Central Virginia. For Thanksgiving that year to go hunting with one of my best friends. It's like a brother to me. But it was just so awesome to see my church family come together, and like my customers heard about it, and I didn't really tell them. And I actually still to this day have people ask, "How's your mom doing?" And every single time I tell them, um, they're just absolutely amazed because she came home. It was December 29th, 2017. She came back home. And I think it was April or May she got cleared to go back to work. And by June, I think she had her driver's license back. And pretty much by July or August of that year, she was completely back to normal. And there is absolutely no credit to be given anywhere other than to God for that. That He worked an absolute miracle in that situation in my life and my family, my dad and my brother, and for all my friends and everything. They all used to ask about her, and even like I said, even my customers still to this day, and I tell them everything is back to normal. It's just, and they always even say it's just an absolute miracle what happened to her. And I've been an immersed believer since pretty much, I think, elementary school. Um, and it was so awesome to see how God worked in that life. And He's provided so much for me and my family. Me, especially with my work. I mean, and I totally believe in the fact that everything happens for a reason. I mean, I've had struggles, but they happen for a reason. God had a plan for me, and with my business and personal life and all that too. And um, I mean, everything that's happened, all the work, everything. I am so grateful every morning to wake up and go beautify His creation. Each day I wake up, I thank Him for being able to wake up and go work in His beautiful creation and keep it beautiful and make it more beautiful. And I mean, I've found myself listening to Christian radio while I'm working. I've got the 3M not the Bluetooth, but the radio headphones, and I listen to the local Christian radio station. And when I'm out on a mower, if you drive by me, you may or may not see me singing. I'm not afraid. I'm not ashamed to admit that at all. But it's amazing how he can work miracles and everything. And I know the world is in a crazy state right now, with all this stuff going on. And honestly, when it was first kind of all developing, it was developing so fast, and I definitely was nervous, but I'm at peace with it now, knowing that my faith is bigger than my fear. I have nothing to be afraid of. Everything happens for a reason. He's a God of miracles. He is the great healer, and everything is in his control. It's in his hands, and we just need to trust him. We have a candle inside that says, pray about everything, worry about nothing. And I can't think of how true that is for my life and everything that's happened, especially these past few years, like I was saying with my mom. And I was very fortunate enough last year to go on a mission trip to Costa Rica with my Sunday school class. We did a young adult mission trip, and it was truly eye-opening and humbling to be able to see the way of life. And it's a very poor country, but it's a very beautiful country, and they're very resourceful. And we went down there and found out that there was a family living in the local church that that the mission we went to was partnered with. And we found out that their house had burnt down a week to the day before we got there. And we all as a group prayed about it, and our leader kind of stepped forward in that situation and asked us if we would want to raise enough money to build them a house. In Costa Rica, it costs about $6,000 US to build a house, which basically their house is like a metal building, sort of like a lot of you guys, I'm sure, store equipment in, but that's basically what it is. And they have plumbing, or I don't want to say plumbing, but like they can run electrical and water and stuff to it, to be able to function as a house. But it's basically just a metal building. But and within 24 hours we had raised the money, and that was nothing short of God working a miracle, and being able to provide for that family. So we did VBS for the kids that week and did a construction project. We were actually building another house, and that was just a eye-opening and truly humbling experience to be able to just be there and spread his word and his light and his love to the people of Costa Rica. And we are praying and hoping that we're able to go back in July. I have faith that we will. I know this whole world is so full of uncertainty, but God knows exactly what's going to happen. And I mean, there's nothing short of it, or there's nothing short of that. I don't have a crazy testimony, like nothing super, like I was walking in darkness and then something changed and happened and whatnot, and I came to him. But I mean, I grew up in the church, and like I said, just the whole ordeal with my mom was nothing short of a miracle from him and my work. He provides so much for me to be able to do what I'm able to do, and it's truly amazing. So I I can't take any credit. It's all to him, and so that's basically my testimony. It's something that I feel like God was putting on my heart that I wanted to share with you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I'd love to hear about your testimony too. If you're a follower of Christ, or if you're not, feel free to send me a message. My Instagram um, should be down in the description below. Just send me a message, and I'd be happy to answer any of your questions that I possibly can. So hope you guys enjoyed this. I know it's a little different, but it's something that I felt inclined, and that it was something that I wanted to share with you guys. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next one.